I recently did an interview with Mr. Williamson, and he is a writer for SBNation Silver and Black Pride, a Las Vegas Raiders community. And I wanted to kind of give you a little snippet from it. It's a few minutes, not too long. Give you a little snippet from that conversation. Or what you call Clemson Week. Did you ever think that you would be writing a week about Clemson players on the Raiders?
Well, I mean, last year when they drafted 3 players, you kind of thought, hey, there's something here. And then when they added 2 more, there's definitely something there. So, hey, it's the offseason. The draft is over. Let's have some fun. And it's a unique situation when there's 5 players in the same team drafted back-to-back years. I mean, that's almost a tenth of the Raiders roster played for Clemson in the last 2 years. So why not have some fun with it?
Right. And not only a tenth of your roster, which I remember you saying that on your podcast, but 11.6% of Clemson players who are in the pros play for the Raiders, which I thought was awesome too. Why do you think the Raiders are so interested in Clemson specifically, it seems?
Well, I think at the start of it is just the premise of that Mike Mayock wants, and John Gruden makes the final decision, but Mike Mayock has a big part of the draft, and he makes a lot of recommendations. His premise is this: he wants players who produce in college, he wants players from big programs, and he wants guys that are leaders. If you look at all these guys, that's what they were, these 5 guys from Clemson. Now you look at the 2019 championship game against Alabama, the one that Clemson won, of course, 44-16. There's 8 players from that game, 3 Alabama players. So, I mean, Mike Mayock was on that field before the game, and then one of his first duties as the Raiders general manager, and he was taking notes of players on both sides of the field. And clearly he was taking notes of not just draft eligible guys last year, but everybody. So they're very honed in on these great programs. And I just think they have a good relationship with Dabo Swinney and Woody McCarty. And I just think it's a situation they feel very going to get NFL ready, smart, good football cultured players from this program. And obviously they feel very strongly about the 3 players, Quaylen, Trayvon, and Hunter last year.
And talking about those players last year, you talked about Furl and Mullen and Hunter Renfrow, the guys picked in the 2019 draft. Looking back, do you think that who do you think has shown the most so far of that group?
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, showing the most is probably Renfrow, but I don't know if he's going to have the best career. I mean, this is a guy who had 49 catches as a rookie. That's a big rookie number. He started slow. He had 5 catches in his last 7 games. He missed 3 games, came back, finished the year. So he's a guy that can be a real slot presence for John Gruden's offense. Trayvon, I think, is going to get a chance to be a steady starter. He can be really good. The first pick, of course, was Clelin Ferrell at number 4. A lot of people thought was an overdraft, including myself. He was okay. He had his moments. He wasn't great. But, he's a smart, steady guy, and he'll have a chance to get better. But, will he be dynamic? Who knows?
Right. Still a lot left out there, especially only after 1 year of play.
Right.
Now, the guys coming in, Tanner Muse and John Simpson, either one of those guys getting a lot of talk right now over in Vegas?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I'm really excited about I thought that Jim Nagy this week and did something on John Simpson. Jim Nagy is the executive director of the Senior Bowl. And, he had John there, and he was really excited about him. And, he thinks that he could be a starter maybe year 2, and I think that's where the Raiders are thinking. I mean, John Simpson is a guy the Raiders traded up to move up 12 spots in the 4th round, and they traded their last draft to get him. So they only had 7 picks, and he was the last one. So they felt strongly enough to trade up to get him and not have any more picks. So clearly they look at him as a future starter.
And going back to Hunter Renfrow, he's forever in Clemson history as one of the greatest stories of all time. You know, a walk-on, earning a scholarship, and then catching the championship-winning catch from Deshaun Watson. How do people feel about him over in Vegas?
Oh, they love him. I mean, he's got the same kind of attitude and everybody kind of makes fun of him. He looks more like the water boy than, one of the receivers, but he gets it done. And again, he had a good rookie season. His teammates really like him. Derek Carr trusts him already. So yeah, I think he could have a really nice career. He could be one of those, the next, Adam Humphrey or maybe even Wes Welker type, slot receivers. Just, last year they were already saying it was third and Renfrow. I mean, towards the end of the season, Derek Carr found Hunter Renfrow in third down all the time, and he delivered.
Oh, yeah. We remember that a lot over here in Tiger Town, third and Renfrow. This year it turned over to third and T. Higgins, but we still missed Hunter Renfrow in that slot position for sure. Now, I know he got injured during the season as well, something kind of serious with his injury. Is that something that you're concerned about with him? You talked about his body size. It's definitely not what you're used to in the NFL.
No, that specific injury, if I'm correct, it seemed so long ago. I think maybe a ribs or something. There was some concern that it could kind of get a little tricky. But he came back. I think he really impressed the coaches and everybody, his teammates, and he came back to finish the season. So that particular injury, I don't think is going to be an issue. With his body type, maybe injuries will be an issue. That's something we have to work through. But, I mean, that's the NFL, and that's football.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Bill Williamson from Silver and Black Pride over on SBNation. Check him out. Let our fans know where they can catch you.
Oh, well, Silver and Black Pride, a lot of Clemson stuff, particularly this week. And then on Twitter, B. Williamson NFL. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so that was Bill Williamson from Silver and Black Pride. Thanks again, Bill, if you're watching this, for joining me earlier on this week to talk about the Clemson Tigers and the Clemson Tigers who now play for the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought it was some pretty good information, Al. If you look at it, I mean, the Raiders seem to love them some Clemson Tigers. You've got, from 2019, you've got Clelin Ferrell at pick number 4, pick number 40, Trayvon Mullen, pick number 149, Hunter Renfrow, which I believe steal of the draft. And then you got this year, pick number 100, Tanner Muse, and pick number 109, John Simpson. They seem to talk a lot about John Simpson. They think he is a guy that was really somebody who is going to, maybe not this year, but in the next year or two, going to be one of those guys you might see as a Pro Bowler type guy. I mean, just somebody you can really rely on in that offensive line. Now, obviously, Clemson fans are not surprised by that at all. I will tell you that I think that some people felt a little bit like Ferrell underperformed this season. They kind of felt like he might have been overdrafted as high as he went. But I still think that these guys are great additions for the Raiders. I mean, if you're a Clemson fan, you know why they're picking Clemson players, because it's not only just their talent, but it's the character and their leadership out off the field that just is going to just completely change your dynamic as a team. And a lot of people are now, Clemson fans included, saying, hey, seems like Bill O'Brien's dumping all of these Texans or Clemson players to the Texans. Why not just go ahead and let Deshaun Watson go up and reunite with Hunter Renfrow? I wouldn't mind that at all, because I think Deshaun is a special player. And I really do think that Hunter Renfrow is a special player. I think that, they are calling it third and Renfrow there. So you already know, even in the short amount of time that he has been there, that he has had that kind of impact. We're talking about a walk-on here, and a guy that people make fun of because he doesn't look like, he said it could be like a Wes Welker. Well, Wes Welker's pretty jacked. He's pretty muscular. Julian Edelman's of the world. Those guys, Amendola's, those guys are muscular dudes. A lot of people pick on Hunter Renfrow for that, but Hunter understands the game. He understands defenses, and he runs the routes. And by the way, he catches everything that's thrown at him. So I think he's going to be a lot bigger as he continues to go. There's going to be a huge legend about Hunter Renfrow after everything's said and done. which there already is a legend here in the upstate.
Right. Yeah, he's got the Clemson legend thing going on. He's probably going to have the Las Vegas one as well. Yeah, I think they got a lot of good pickups there. You know, Gruden, a lot of these coaches seem to gravitate towards the Clemson players, and they really latch on. And that's a good thing. It's like, you know, it's about Dabo. It's about the culture that he does, and you know that he kind of pushes forward, and the fact that, you know, we have some of the best players. That's why we're competing for national championships every year. So of course they're going to get these Clemson guys. So yeah, it's a good thing when you have a pipeline. It makes it fun for Clemson fans to kind of latch onto that team. It's, you know, it's been the Texans for quite some time, and now it's going to be probably the Las Vegas Raiders. I would be all for Deshaun going to Las Vegas. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would definitely sign off on that in a heartbeat.
Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to join our live show every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it.